I'm going to show you the absolute easiest way to distribute your films, TV shows, home movies, frankly. Anything that you want can be distributed with this method. And no, it's not just throwing it up on YouTube. This is a technique that I recommend to a lot of filmmakers who are looking to get their films out on a specific date, or they don't want to deal with the hassles of Amazon, Film Hub, or traditional distribution. The easiest way to distribute your films is by creating an OTT channel, and today I'm going to show you how to do that. I will be using Vimeo OTT for the sake of this tutorial, but you can use pretty much any other platform you wish. I want to disclaim something before we get started. I said at the beginning of this video that this method is the easiest way to distribute your film. Easiest is not always best. I haven't made very much money with this method, but I was also on a lot of other platforms like Amazon, Tubi, etc. when I did launch this channel. Also, putting your film out in the world requires a lot of marketing. You're competing against thousands of other films on a daily basis to gain viewers' attention. This method of distribution will require you to direct people to your film, and people are likely not going to find it organically. Now, I probably scared half of you off by saying all of that, but I do think this is a method that is still worth trying at least. First, let's talk about what an OTT platform is. OTT stands for over the top. It's essentially a platform where you're owning your own streaming service. So Netflix, Hulu, pretty much any streaming service that you can name is an OTT platform. This allows you to sell your film via TVOD, which is transactional video on demand, essentially allowing people to buy and rent your film, or a subscription model. So if you have a ton of content and it warrants potentially having your own subscription service, you were able to do that with this method. I don't recommend the subscription model unless you have a ton of content. So for this video, I'm mostly going to be focusing on the TVOD aspect. Basically, in layman's terms, you are going to be creating a website where people can purchase or rent your film. I have found that Vimeo is the easiest OTT platform to use. So again, this is why I'm using it. Vimeo is also free to get started. However, there can be some cost associated with distributing your film if it requires it. Let's talk about why you'd want to use this, or who exactly is the target market for a product like this. One, I would recommend this for people who cannot get distribution, traditional distribution for one reason or another. Two, you are not able to distribute on platforms such as Prime Video Direct or Film Hub because you can't fix QC issues or some reason or another. Three, you are looking to get your film out on a specific release date and Amazon or traditional distribution or Film Hub doesn't really allow you to do that. Or four, you've exhausted all other options and you have no idea what else to do and you still want to be able to put your film out in the world. I will say this may not be the best method if you are a bit more of an established filmmaker and have a big library. Due to the fact of it's difficult to drive people to a website like that where it's a little bit easier on a bigger platform, but I still think it could be a good option due to its low cost. Let's talk about the cost real quick before we start actually getting things set up. Now, there's no upfront cost associated with starting an OTT channel on Vimeo. However, there is $1 a month per subscriber fee if you decide to take that route. Purchases and rentals are a 90-10 split. So for an example, if you sell your film for $10, you will make $9 and Vimeo will take the other $1 as their fee. Now I mentioned there could be an upfront cost, and this is just going to depend on how much content that you have. I believe that they allow you to upload an hour's worth of content for free, but if you want to upload anything longer than that, then you're going to have to buy hours from them. Essentially what that means is like if your film is 61 minutes, for an example, well, that's obviously over the 60 minutes that they allow, so you're going to have to buy more hours. They sell 10 hours for $99, 25 hours for $149, or 50 hours for $199. I did 50 hours back when I set this up, but you can do whatever suits you best. So if you have one film that's under 60 minutes, congrats, you can do this for free. But if you're like me and have a film over that amount, then you are going to have to pay that fee. Now, the deliverables for this platform are a little bit different because it doesn't really require much. I still recommend having a few things just because it's just good to have these things. But the bare minimum, you're obviously going to need your film. You don't need, a super high res file like I've talked about in my Film Hub and Amazon tutorial where I recommend a ProRes 422 HQ file. You can just do something like an H.264 file, which is your common internet delivery file. I recommend having a trailer, but if you don't have a trailer, it's not the end of the world. It's going to be harder to market your film, but if you don't have a trailer for some reason, it's not the end of the world. I recommend having 16:9 poster art or like a 3:4 or something. We'll go over, the different sizes that they have here shortly. They don't require this, but again, something that I would just recommend having, especially, when you're competing against other platforms. It's good to kind of look similar to the other platforms, at least in my opinion. And I recommend having closed captions, but if you absolutely cannot afford to do closed captions, it's not the end of the world. You don't need them here. And that's one of the reasons why I say this is the easiest platform, because it just doesn't require much for you to get started. So now that we've talked about all that, let's actually get into setting up an account and uploading some films. So to get started, you're going to want to create a Vimeo account. So I already have a Vimeo account, so I'm not going to do that. If you want to find your OTT platform, you would just click your little icon here, select more, and then Vimeo OTT. So I'm going to wait for this to load for a second. So here's your monthly summary. I don't have anything live on here right now, so there's not going to be much for you to see here, but you can see revenue that you've made, net revenue. So your gross total. So like if you sold a film for $10, that's where it's going to show up here. Expenses is going to be what Vimeo's cut is, and then your net expenses. It's going to show your viewership, and then some of these other analytics that aren't popping up for me right now, but we're going to go ahead and ignore those. So on the homepage here, you have content where you upload your videos, products where you're actually going to set up your product pages, customers if you want to see your customers. They also allow comments, which is pretty cool. So kind of adds a social aspect here. You have manage. So this is for your sites, etc., billing. And then you have your analytics. So that's kind of the basics of just the homepage. I'll get more into these here in a little bit. And then you obviously have your settings. You can set up a couple different sites. So if you just want one site for, one film, for an example, you have the ability to do that and then make a site for something else. I'm going to assume you're going to have to buy more hours if you do this, but if you want an individualized like landing page for your film, you have the ability to do that, which is really nice. And then you have this preview site button. So if I click this, it's going to pop up my site, but you can see here's a quick walkthrough of the site. Normally this would have something on it, but because I don't have anything live right now, there's nothing here, but I'll make sure I show you this again later. But you can title your site. So if I just wanted to call this cashing out for an example, that would be the way to do it. Browse. So if you have multiple pieces of content, forums, if you want to have a forum, and then search if you have search. So nice little basic site. And then you can't see it, but the domain for this website in particular is awsfilms.vhx.tv. So I think you can connect your own domain here. You're going to have to pay for that. But if you wanted to do that, which I may actually do that for cashing out if it doesn't cost me any money. But if you wanted to do that, you could absolutely do that here. But let's go ahead and go back to our homepage for now. So let's actually get into how do we upload some content. So let's say that you have your film, you got your posters and all that. Let's actually get into that. So if you click on content, you have videos, you have extras. So if you have something extra that you want to include with your film, say you got like behind the scenes or something like that, what's really nice about this platform is you can upload that and include it in your film. I've actually done that, so I can show you what it looks like. Live events, if that's something you want to do. I haven't tried this. It'd be really fun to do like a live screening on here at some point. Maybe I'll do that in the future. But I think you have the ability to do that here. I've never actually used it. Collections, you can create like a collection of films or whatever if you have a lot of content. I'm not going to focus on that here, but you have the ability to do that. And then categories, again, if you're just focusing on one film, I'm not going to really get into that with this tutorial. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to click on videos, and this is where you're going to be able to see what you've uploaded. So you can see I got a whole bunch of stuff uploaded here. You can't see the bottom of the page. Actually, let me scroll this up so you can see the entire thing. So we got pretty much everything here. I've distributed a course that I created at some point here too, but like I have a trailer for somebody that I uploaded. as a test. I have the cashing out trailer. And then, like I said, I have the movie. Here's the movie. These are the 2 extra things that I had. And then I have a whole bunch of stuff here. And then extras, I don't have anything uploaded here. I think I just uploaded that to videos, so I didn't really focus on that. Live events. So if you want to do that, apparently you're ready to start broadcasting from Vimeo using your premium or advanced account. So I don't have that. So I don't think I could do it for free. So that's something I'll have to look into later. So if I decide to do like a live screening of cashing out or something in the future, I'll definitely do an update on how to do that. Maybe like a separate tutorial. This will just be focused strictly on the TVOD aspect, like I said. So let's go back to videos and let's say we want to upload something. So we have a few different options here. Add Vimeo videos. So if you have it uploaded on Vimeo, you can just do it straight from here, connect your account, upload, extra, live event, collection category. So we're going to go to upload and then we're met with this screen. So we can choose files. We can upload from Dropbox. We can upload from Vimeo. And then as you can see here up in the corner, we can buy more hours. So when I named off those prices, this is where you would do that. So 50 hours, $99, about $10 per hour, 25 hours, about $6 per hour, 50 hours, about $4 per hour. I did 50 hours just because, I'm hopefully going to make a lot of films in the future. And this kind of makes it easy to do that, to upload more without actually, incurring more costs later. So, if we upload a film, so I have a short film file here. It's actually the cashing out file that I got from YouTube. So literally you could upload anything here. So I'm going to choose a file. So I have my film here. And this is the one I did from my recent Film Hub tutorial that failed. So we're going to try this one. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So that's going to be uploading in the background. We're going to leave that alone for now. But that's pretty much it. So if you have a trailer, stuff like that, this is where you're going to do that. So this isn't going to take very long. So let's go ahead. I'm going to wait a second here and let this finish uploading. So it's done uploading, it's optimizing, it's going to take some processing, but all this can be happening in the background. So it's not necessarily anything that you need to do, but you'll do this with your trailer. If you have any extra content that you want to include with it, that's pretty much it. Super simple. And then while this is happening, we can click on it and we can actually start importing some metadata. And I really recommend doing this because it's going to help with your SEO a little bit. SEO being search engine optimization. I had mentioned that you're going to have to direct a lot of people to your film, but this is going to help it show up in search engines to help with some organic marketing. So that way you're not completely having to rely on paid marketing. So you want to create a title. You can put a short description, full description. As you can see here, I've kind of sucked at that. So if I wanted to put like a log line here and a full, actually, let's look at my actual cashing out one instead. So we're not, playing games. So here we go. So I got a log line here. I have a full summary of the film, movie type, movie. That's pretty easy. Movie version. You can, use your best judgment here. I just left it standard. Production studio, you can leave that blank if you want. I know people freak out about that, but you can make something up. Production country. You can have a collection. You can create one. Primary thumbnail. And this is where we can start putting in other thumbnails too. So we got this 2x3 recommended size. So let's see if I have a 2x3 just ready to go. I do. So let's see if it's definitely not this size. So let's actually just see if it works with my 2x3 that I have. Boom, it does. And we don't have to do the goofy thing like taking out names and all of that. I recommend having it clean just because it looks a little bit better. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I don't have it doesn't look like I have a square version. So let's just pretend for the sake of things that, that is what it is. Featured image, if you want to have that mobile image. I'm not going to do that, but because I don't think, do I have these sizes? I do have a 16x6. So let's go ahead and upload that. I don't have a 1x1. At least I don't think so. I'll search really quick. It doesn't appear that I have a 1x1. So let's see what this does with let's see what this does with the 4x3. Let's see if it will squeeze it. Okay, good enough. That works. Same thing with the square. Let's see if it does the same thing with the 4x3, kind of close enough. It'll crop in a little bit. Okay, perfect. That worked out. Okay, so I actually was able to show you this time. So that's good. So we got all of our general information. So that's good. Now let's go to distribution. Actually, I need to save this. Let's go to distribution. And then we're going to pick some things here. So if you want anybody to be able to watch this without paying, this is what you would click right here. Otherwise, you want to create a product, which that'll be the next thing that we do. Choose a collection if you want to. Buy or rent products. So if you you can include this in several different products if you want. You can choose which regions you want to distribute in. So, we can choose countries, but I'm going to leave that as worldwide. Publish time. So if you want a specific publish time, which I did, I distributed this on February 24th of 2020. So I was able to do that. And when I was able to publish it, if there's an expiration, we can do that. We got the audio type, which I just have a stereo file. I did have captions. And then we have the URL. We can enable comments, which I don't know why I don't have that. So I'm going to definitely enable that. We can download. So let's see what that says. Okay, so we can download ourselves. I want to be able to set this so we can let people download too. And then we could do screeners too, which is really nice. So if you got to send this to film festivals or you want to send it to get reviewed, et cetera, this is a really nice platform for you to be able to do that. So there is that. And then discovery, let's go to discovery. So I have a bunch of tags, I have genres, cast, crew filled out. So you're going to want to fill all this out. For tags, just use keywords that seem to make the most sense. So I have like cashing out, my name, crime, poker film, Texas Hold'em, yada, yada. And then genres, crime, drama, independent, sports. I don't really love sports, but I'm going to leave it. I have my top cast, my top crew, the release dates, the rating, which it's unrated, an advisory. So you're able to choose things. You can see we have all these different things that you can choose for a rating. Is it original content or licensed content, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that's, stuff you're going to want to fill out. And then for stats, let's go ahead and see some stats here. So 92% view it from the web, 52 views, 9 finishes, 17% completion. Regions, 98% from the US, 1 from the United Kingdom. So a lot of nice information here. This is one of the reasons why I really recommend doing this, just because you have so much flexibility here. Like if you can figure out how to get people to come to your website, like this is a fantastic platform to do this on. So let's actually go ahead and create a product. So you want to hit products and then all products. And then you can see I have a bunch of different products already set up here. I have caching out already set up. So this is what I'm going to use to walk you through it. But to create a product, you can hit create product here, or as a reminder, in caching out or in your videos here, when you select one of your titles in distribution. So in distribution, you can hit create product here. I'm not going to do that because I already have the product. So I'm going to use that to walk you through. So I'm going to hit edit on this. So we start with some basic info, title, caching out, description. I have my log line here. And then I also say that it includes 2 bonus videos. You can put whatever you want here. We have the thumbnail. And then I'm not sure why it doesn't take the images that I had before. So I'm just going to re-upload those images real quick, just so we have them. So let's upload them one by one. The featured image. And the mobile image. Okay, so we got all of our different artwork here. So that's good. So I'm going to hit save. And then if you have any translations here, let's see here. If we have Spanish. Okay, so if we want to add that for Spanish speakers, we can put a title and description in that language if we want, which is really nice. So now let's go to distribution. So we can set this up for pre-order, which is really nice. So, if we want to sell it ahead of time, that's a cool way to do that. We can pick worldwide specific countries, and then we can select a date for that to happen, and then a customer message if they decide to do that. Or if we're ready to sell, we could do that too. So it's probably the most preferred method. Again, you can select worldwide for distribution regions, or you can select a country, and then let's go ahead and hit this plus. So we have all these countries that we can opt out of or just select to distribute only in, but I'm going to leave that as worldwide. Keep it as simple as possible. Then our customer message: thank you for your purchase of cashing out. Be sure to leave a review in your favorite format. We're on IMDb, Letterboxd, Amazon, Facebook, and Rotten Tomatoes. If you like this movie, be sure to... I'm going to get rid of that for now. And actually, we're not on Facebook anymore because Facebook took down the page for some reason. So there, we're ready for that. The content. Now we're going to select our content. So for a trailer, we need to choose a trailer. So let me find my trailer. Why is it not? Add contents. So once you're uploaded, this is how you would add it. So I'm not going to do it again, but this is the one I just uploaded. So I would select that to add it. It's going to show up right there. So I'm going to remove that. And I want to be able to enable people to download this too, which is really nice. So I'm going to hit enable downloads. If we have any settings, that's going to bring us probably back to our general settings. Let's leave that alone. I don't know why my videos aren't showing up for the trailers. Okay, but this is where you would upload your trailer. This is glitching for some reason for me. So I'm just going to let that be for now. But that's where you would do that. And then, like I said, this is where you could add bonus content if you want. And you can enable downloads if that's something you want to do. Next, we'd go to pricing, and then we can enable a pay what you want if that's what you choose. So I could do that, but I don't really want to do that. But if you were trying to do like maybe a screening or something, or, donations, whatever, you can allow people to do that. You can set the rental day period. Looks like the minimum is 3 days. And then down here, you can select a buy price. So let's say I want to sell the film for $10, and let's say I want to rent it for, $3 for now. It looks like they have a minimum, 99 cents. So I'm going to leave that at $10 to buy, $3 to rent. Let's see if we can manage. So you can manage this in the different languages. You can accept international currency. There may be a fee for that if that's something that you do, but not the end of the world if you're able to get people to watch in other countries. I think that's awesome. And then I think we're pretty much all good to go from there. So I'm going to hit save, and we can actually publish too. So I'm going to hit resume sales. So this should show up on my, yes. So we can create an account if we need to, and then we can buy or rent this film. Easy peasy. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's literally all it takes to set up your film. So let's go ahead and explore like setting up your page, and just other parts of the website. So customers, you have all of your customers. I'm not going to bring that up because it's probably going to bring up their information. Yeah, it brings up their information. So I'm going to skip that. We have block customers. I don't have any block customers. Then we have comments. So if you want to enable comments, you can respond to comments. I definitely recommend doing that. Manage, you have the site, team, theme editor, platforms, billing. And then analytics, you have all of this if you need to. I'm not going to get too deep in the analytics. Let's look at that really quick. So that's just like the home page. You can look if you have any subscribers, if you have any viewership, buying rents. So I don't have anything right now. So let's look at all times. You have some numbers. So cashing out 4 units on the web and 35 units for free. Oh, something I forgot to show too. Let's talk about this. Promotions. You can set up promotions. So you can set up coupons, subscription promotions, screeners, embed your trailer, and then they have API docs too. So if you want to gift your film, you can create a coupon code for that. Something I did for my DVD is I had a free digital copy if that was something that they wanted. And, I included like a little slip with the DVD and Blu-ray, which was cool. If I had screeners, so if I sent something off for reviews, So we have, let's see here. We have, I'm going to have to blur this out, but if we need to send a screener, hit send screener, the film, you put their email address. You can set an expiration. You can turn sharing on and off, and you can leave a message. That's really nice. A little more secure than using YouTube. And apparently you can do 100 of these free per month and $1 for each additional one. And then for promotions, let's do a transactional. Let's manage coupons. So we had a bunch of coupons. So it looks like it gave some people some coupons for different things. But let's create a coupon really quick. So AWS Films coupon, we can set the amount of codes. We can create the coupon code, discounted products, if they can purchase or rent it, partial or free. So let's say that we want to discount. So it looks like the percentage. Let's say we want to discount it 50%. There's your discount. Create the code. Then you can send that code off to people, which is really nice. So going back, now we want to actually look at creating the website for people to look at. So since I published the film, let's see if it pops up on our site. So it does. And then it's going to say show watching just because I'm in admin mode right now. But if I were to open this in an incognito window, let's do that real quick. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Shows what is included, buy, rent, and the trailer would show up here too if I had the trailer. It would show up for free. They don't have to buy anything. So let's hit buy, and then it'll take us back to our purchasing page. I don't know if I need to, and you can gift this too, which is cool. I don't know if I need to create an account. So we'll see if that's something we actually need to do, but that's kind of a basics here for that. So let's look at actually setting that up. So we're going to go to manage site. We're going to create a title for our site. So we can do cashing out. So I'm going to call this cashing out. And then our subdomain. So we can do a custom domain. So let's do, because I have a domain. So let's try that. Okay, so that's a little, that's something I have to look at later because that's not something I really know how to do. So I'm going to leave that alone. But because I have cashingout.com as a domain, I could make this cashingout.vhx.tv, but I'm going to leave that alone for now. Not the end of the world. But you can, create a description for it if you want. I'm going to leave this as AWS Films for now. Site color, not really. Let's go back and look at our site really quick. I don't know that it was white, so I don't know what that color's for. Comments, if you want to enable comments, if you want to enable forums, I'm going to turn that off. Site made for kids, so if it's friendly to kids, cool. Buy rent product, you can send content rows, so I'm going to leave that as buy rent content, and then you can add any supported languages. So let's go ahead and save that. Themes, so we can choose a theme. So I kept it basic, it looks like. So let's edit theme. Let's see what that does. Okay, so we got this. So this is probably what I would just send people to. Just create like a very basic site. I don't know what the pink is for. So let's see. Let's change that to white and see if that does anything. Didn't do anything important. You can add a Facebook, Twitter username. I don't know where that. Okay, so that shows up down here in the corner. I'd rather have the YouTube page if I'm being honest, but that's fine. If you have any translations for the site description, global settings, primary color buttons. So if you want to have a color button that stands out for the film for people to buy, that's the way you would do it. If you have a navigation image, I don't. We're just going to keep things really basic. If you want to get in the weeds here a little bit, be my guest. Site banner, so up here at the top, I'm assuming. So let's change this to white to see if that changes. It did not. So I don't even know what that's for. Oh, enable site banner. So let's see. That did not work either. So I don't even know what that's for. So I'm going to leave that alone. Banner link, browse options, hero options, if that's something you want, footer links. Okay, so I got my website on the footer, it looks like. So that's probably what that is right there. Cool. Hide powered by Vimeo. Where does that show up? Well, I'm able to hide that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Custom styles. This is a little bit out of my forte, so I'm not going to get into it too much, but just for a basic page, you can usually use just what's on the default settings, but I'm going to go ahead and publish. So let's go ahead and look at our thing again. So I think, is that the home page? Yeah, awesome. So if I just wanted this to be my landing page, perfect. We're good to go. People can buy, rent, watch the film right away. And, they don't have to make no fuss about it. Awesome. So this is definitely what I would recommend doing. Just send people straight. If you just had one film, just send people straight to this page. Makes it really easy to watch like that. So I'm going to go ahead and exit just because there's nothing else to do here. So what else we got? Content. We can search. We can add some search filters. If you only got one movie, you don't really need to do this. Like if you're creating like a whole streaming thing, like that's fine. You can set the regions, set the collection position, tracking. If you have Google Analytics, which is nice, I'm gonna need to do this so I can figure out where people are coming from. But this is where you can set all that up. I have some, looks like privacy policy agreements. This is something that they created by default, so they make that really, really easy for you. I would just, change a couple things if you need to. I think if you change the title, it's going to change this. So if I change it to cashing out, that's probably what's going to show up as advanced. So this is going to be, let's see here, customer support contact, email, URL. As you can see here, I didn't really set too much up here. So you could just honestly leave that alone if you want. But if this is something, if you're good with SEO and all of that, you have some settings here and able to manage that. What else we got here? So we were able to do that. Theme editor. Okay, so we're able to go straight to customizing the website right there. Platforms. Apparently you can request an app too, so you can create an app for your movie if you want. If you have a lot of content, sure, I guess. If you want people to be able to watch on your TV, I'm curious. You're probably going to have to spend some money here. So I'd be really curious, but I've looked at this before and I'm pretty sure that you have to spend some money to get a branded app. So I definitely don't recommend that. Unfortunately, people are going to have to watch your film on a device like a phone, or they're going to have to stream that from, their phone to the TV if they want to watch on the TV. Not the end of the world. Making it easy and allowing them to download the film is probably the best route so they can stream it wherever they want to instead of having to go to your website every single time that they want to watch it. Billing. Let's see what billing has. Okay, so I need to blur this out, but this is where you would do your bank information. You have to create a Stripe account in order to get paid, but this is where you would go and set up all that information. I wish they did PayPal to make this a little bit easier, but that's not a big deal. You have your payout information. So you can see here the last time I got paid was February 2021, grossed $1107, $1.60 in fees, and I made $947. And if you have any charges, so I bought the 50 hours on February 12th, 2020 for $200, and that's where I was able to do that. So, that's pretty much all the basics as far as setting up at its most basic form. If you just want to create a landing page, make everything really easy, that's going to be the way that you do that. And actually, I want to look really quick. I'm going to create a new site and see if I need to purchase more hours if I want to upload or if it's going to take the hours that I have. So I'm going to call this cashing out. And yep, it only gives me an hour, so I'm going to have to buy more hours, which kind of sucks, but not the end of the world. So what are some common QC problems that you can run into? Honestly, not much. I mean, as long as you don't have any trouble with uploading, like you might have some internet issues. Like I said, I definitely recommend having, a high quality version of your film, at least a higher H.264 file, higher quality H.264 file that doesn't have a lot of compression and pixelation and all that. Have the different poster sizes. So let's go over that real quick one more time. So they recommend a 4K 3840 by 2160, 16 by 9, but you can upload something smaller. That's what's nice, is that even if you have something smaller, it's still going to show up. And then for a 2x3, 4000 by 6000, if you got to make something that's still 2x3 aspect ratio and within that size, that's fine. 6000 by 6000 for a 1x1. Again, just look at these sizes. Just make sure it's at least in that aspect ratio. I definitely recommend trying to make it maybe at least half that size if possible, but definitely make all the artwork. It just makes things, a little bit easier on you. Definitely have a trailer, have the closed captions if you can, if you want to make it accessible to everybody, and that's the purpose of captions. So people who are hard of hearing are able to, watch your film easily. And actually I can show you really quick what your film's going to look like. So let's start watching and let's see if we can download settings, quality. We can choose the quality, and then we have turn the sound off. Captions, we can choose the captions. They can customize the captions too, which is cool. Of course, I picked the one part of the film that doesn't have captions. There it is. So that looks good. People are able to download. Oh, they can share with friends if they want. So that's cool. It's worth maybe adding the Facebook and Twitter profile just because of that. Video downloads. So we can download the video. I don't really like that you can download the subtitles, but whatever. Let's leave a comment. So I mean, you got like a whole social experience here, which is really nice. I really want to dive more into, like if I can do like a live screening or something. So like I'm coming up on 5 years here in February. So maybe it'd be cool to do like a 5-year anniversary screening and Q&A or something of the film. I don't know if people would really be into that, but could be fun. I don't know. Be an easy way to make a little bit extra money. Before we get out of here, I wanted to go over some marketing ideas that you can have for getting people to come here to your channel. I want to do a whole video on marketing at some point, and I would like to interview somebody who's been kind of successful with distributing their films, but just at its most basic form, like trying to get people to come to this page, having Facebook and Instagram posts, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, trying to do organic marketing in some way. Maybe that's through social media, sharing the trailer, sharing clips from your movie, TikTok, shorts, etc., stuff like that. I need to, like I said, I want to do a whole video about that, but you want to get clever about how you're directing people to your film, especially if this is your only means of distribution. Like you want to make it as easy as possible for people to find this page. So like, for an example, like attaching a domain for your website would be one of the easiest ways. So I want to be able to put cashingout.com and maybe direct people to this site because, it's going to take them right to the page and they're going to be able to purchase the film easily. And, we're not going to have to, they don't have to go searching around for it or whatever. They're able to buy or rent it right then and there. Easy peasy, no problem. But you want to find some ways to get people to come to your page and just make it as easy as possible for them. Put those links in your social media bio. Make sure you're just telling people, hey, this is where you can find it and you're good to go. So hopefully you guys found this video useful. Like I said, I didn't make a ton of money this way, but I did distribute on Amazon while I was, distributing on this. So people are obviously going to go to Amazon before they go to just some random site that you created. And then I was on a couple other platforms too. But if you're stretched on options and you want to be able to sell your film easily, this is the literal easiest way to do it, because you don't have to worry about all the QC nonsense and all of that. You can just upload your film and go. Essentially, there might be a little bit of a cost of, minimally $100 if your film's over an hour. But other than that, I mean, that's really what there is to it. So if you have any questions about this, definitely leave me a comment down in the comments section. What did I miss? Let me know in the comment section too. If you want to, learn more about from other filmmakers and how they distributed their films, I'll have a couple videos that you can watch right here that I think you'd be interested in. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.